KTAR, Eyes on Parenting.
Kids these days, am I doing enough? Am I doing too much? This is KTAR's Eyes on Parenting. I'm Corbin Carson, and we're talking about Halloween, the safe way to enjoy this amazing holiday for parents and kids. I brought along an expert today. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Dr. Allison Steyer. I'm Director of Mental Health Services at Southwest Human Development.
All right, so the day is finally here. What should parents remember to keep their kids safe tonight?
Well, the first thing would be to go over rules with your children before you go out. So rules like you have to stay close to your parents or the adult that's escorting you. You can't go into people's houses even if they invite you. You have to look for cars, but that should, children do get injured on Halloween, and so being close to kids and reminding them about looking for traffic is super important.
It's like a high accident night, too.
It is.
More than normal.
It is. One thing that will help is for children to carry flashlights or some of or to put glow sticks around them and light themselves up with some of the things that are available. There's tape that you can put on costumes that's reflector tape. So you want to be able to see your children, and you want them to be able to see when they're out.
Perfect.
I would avoid masks too,
Okay.
because it can interfere with vision.
Well, I was just going to ask you about any kind of costume safety, any other things other than masks, just to make sure there's no choking hazards or they're not going to trip or anything like that?
Absolutely. Yeah, you want to make sure that costumes, there are beautiful princess outfits out there, but if they're very long, children will trip on them, and that's not fun.
Check all that before you head out.
Not a fun Halloween.
All right, and also, what about we're getting all this candy? So what should parents be doing? Should we be monitoring this, checking it for safety? What are some common tips that we should be doing then with that?
Well, you want to check for safety for anything that goes into your children's mouths. And then family rules differ on whether you want your children to consume all of it and be done with it, or to
Not a good
dole
idea.
it out over time, or to give it back to a dentist who will compensate you for it.
What should parents be considering when it comes to kids as far as what might be too young for them?
Well, there's lots of ways of celebrating Halloween. So if you have a really little child, you may just do something at home or have some kids over or bake cupcakes or something like that. If you take them out trick-or-treating, you have to be aware that they may encounter things that are kind of scary and try to steer them away from haunted houses. If you have preschoolers, you have to think like a preschooler. Preschooler can tell the difference between a fake fruit and a real fruit, but they don't have enough experience on the planet to know whether a ghost could be real or somebody with an axe in their head and fake blood dripping down is real or imaginary. So that gets pretty tricky. You want to prepare young children for trick-or-treating and the spirit of it, which is that it's supposed to be fun and it's pretend. So it's very helpful to try on costumes days in advance, take them off, to put them on, and always reinforcing that this is a game. It's for fun, and lots of kids are going to be having fun on Halloween.
Usually what people forget, I think a lot of times when you're taking kids out for trick-or-treating is that, it's dark out. You know what I'm saying? And especially for, like you said, preschoolers. I have one that's not even there yet. She will be starting preschool next year. This is a first-time experience for them. She's not going to remember last year when she was 2. You know what I mean? Not she was just learning how to say trick or treat. So remind people just some of the things from a preschooler's perspective, what they're going to be seeing on this, really exciting, adventuresome night.
Well, they could see things that are pretty frightening that they're not prepared for. It would be helpful if they were with supportive adults and that they did it in a kind of modest way. And the pitch black is probably not the best time for preschoolers to be trick-or-treating.
Right.
When it's lighter out, because it just gets everybody more tense, and that thrill may be exciting for an older child, but for a younger child, it can be pretty scary.
I like your idea of kind of getting them practice, if you will, for Halloween. Give me a run through those things again, so it could be fun for them too. Make it a game, right? So before Halloween, what should they be doing?
They can look at their costumes, they can try them on, they can take them off, and the parent can be telling them all along that we're practicing for Halloween. We're pretending. It's not for real, it's pretend.
So you should be telling them that, some of the things you're saying aren't real too. Like, we're letting them know that, hey, this is a pretend witch or ghoul or whatever and stuff like that.
Yeah, and there's always kids that are dressed in those costumes. And you can make those kids real. First they'll have their dinner, then they'll put their costumes on, then they'll stay out, but their mom or their dad or their grandparents won't let them stay out too late because they're kids. Then they'll have to go to school. And, so that the costume stays in the realm of imagination, and that those are children underneath them, just like you are.
Well, perfect. There you have it. This has been KTAR's Eyes on Parenting. I'm Corbin Carson, father of 4, 1 in college, 1 in high school, 1 in kindergarten, and 1 working her way into preschool. Chances are I'm facing a question you're facing. If so, hit me up on Twitter. Maybe I can help. I'd like to thank Dr. Allison for joining us. So we'll see you next time, folks.